Good morning. This is Nancy Smith, Executive Director with the Shawano Country Chamber of Commerce, and this is our Small Business Survival Series. And we are starting off with Heather Paul, who is the owner of Martin Jewelers in downtown Shawano. And she's going to share a little bit with us today about taking advantage of Facebook, selling your items on Facebook, and doing Facebook Live. So Heather, you've had to pivot pretty quickly here since our safer at home order by the governor, and I think you've done an awesome job of doing that. So talk a little bit about how you are utilizing Facebook and a little bit about your Facebook Live experience.
I'd be glad to. First of all, I really appreciate you inviting me to even share this. I certainly don't find myself to be an expert in it, but as a lot of people are just adapting on the fly, that's kind of what we're having to do. And I've noticed that a lot of people are really anxious and happy to be able to find ways to continue to be our customers and participate in our sales and be with us through this. And this, as everybody's home alone, this was just one way to do it. It was not comfortable. It's not comfortable for a lot of people to be in front of the camera. And at this current time frame, you have to do it. You need to adapt, and you need to make sure that you embrace the uncomfortable and just go with it. And I think the feedback that we received was so positive. As thrown together and great as it was, people said it doesn't have to be perfect. It just needs to be. So just do it. And so that's kind of what we embraced. We did do a little bit of research in advance and find out really what was going to work well. And that's kind of what I just quickly wanted to share really briefly in regards to leading up to the event, because getting all that information prepped at first, felt overwhelming, but I'll have to tell you, it was like 2 to 3 days in advance that we decided we were going to do this, because nobody has the luxury of perfection right now. So we went out there with it. So our quick steps and things, and I've learned so much more since we've even done it, that I wished I would have implemented, but now I know, but just some things to kind of get us off in the right direction. Oh, let's see if we can already start and move the first one. The first one that people told me was choose a goal. Not everyone is retail. So the question was, if you're going to do a live, it's not necessarily just for sales. Are you going to go on live to educate people? Are you going to go live to launch a new item or a new product line that might be available when they are coming back and things are a little bit more back to normal? Or in our case, are we going live to sell? And then in that selling, is it a new product sell, or is it a clearance out some old inventory sale? Which I think is what really is the most popular thing that people are doing right now, is they're looking to clearance out some old inventory. And if that's the case, what were the next steps? But to backtrack for 2 seconds, if you're going live to educate, for those that are, some of the salons in town, it's like, no, we're not educating on how to cut hair. We're educating them on, okay, here's an updo you can do. If you need to deal with some of this and some of that, there's always a bit of education that can be done. I know people have really been enjoying a lot of the videos from the Launching Pad in regards to how he's doing some of the cooking and putting things together. And those are live to educate and have been hugely successful. And it keeps you out there. So in our case, we were assuming we were selling for a clearance sale, which obviously the first step was select your items. We set a time frame. I've seen online sales go from anywhere from 20 minutes, which is pretty short, to 2 hours, which is way too long. Nobody wants to be in that process that long. So we set a goal for 45 and stayed under an hour. And I think that was probably just about right, but you have to do what works for you. So we selected our items, and then we really took a look at, okay, we just need to move things. So what's priced for a quick sell? You have to go live to promote your live, and I'll show on my Facebook page, which people can see, which seems a little odd, but we received almost 1,000 views on the live to promote the live event. So days leading up to it, we made sure that we had a live that was telling people we were doing this, because we've never done it before. Ask places such as the Chamber or the Downtown Bid to share it and get that information out there, and then give them an idea of exactly when it's going to be, how it's going to run, and how they can be involved in that. And then the next step on that prepping for it was taking individual photos of the items and adding them either to your website. I don't have an e-commerce site, so that really wasn't an option for me. So my option was to be able to take those photos and put them out on my Facebook shop. And at that point in time, not having the item number or the price, because I didn't want people to like pre-shop the sale, but I wanted them to see what was going to be in it to create some excitement. And so that went out prior to the event as well. So some other things and details to consider is lighting. You know, we do the best we can with the lighting under the circumstances, and not everybody's place is set up for that. Microphone, I did not buy an extra microphone. We found that iPhones and iPads and some other phones have very good microphones in them, usually about a 2.5 to 3 or 4 foot distance from the recording gives you enough decent mic that you don't need to do any extra purchasing of microphones, but those do exist if you're going to do a remote. We had a standard camera that was mounted inside of a ring light that I borrowed from my nail tech, actually, who takes really nice photos that she puts on her Instagram, and she let me borrow that. So that didn't cost anything. I also borrowed my wheel, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. But the microphone is important that way. We found we needed at least 2 people. Some people say that they need to run it with 3, but the importance of that is depending upon how you're recording it and how far back you are from the phone or the tablet, you can't see the comments. And also, it's so much more fun to have that interaction. So you have to be tracking the comments, responding to them live. I know some people have recorded sales and then put them up as live sales and then done the comments while they're doing the recording. That's an option. A lot of the feedback that I've received, at least within the jewelry industry and other places, is you don't get that interaction when you've kind of like pre-recorded a live sale. But, you know, again, something is better than nothing. But in that interaction, gamification is the big word, is like keep it fun, keep it interactive, make sure that you maybe ask people, which I didn't, on their pages to share this event so that they're sharing and it goes live, which creates more of a viral situation for people to see your page. And if it was just like constantly show an item, yeah, it's boring. So that's why we threw in some trivia in there and actually stumped a number of people from the downtown on our trivia questions. We've done drawings in the middle of it. I was on one the other day where someone had the Hey Hey Chicken from Disney, and every time the Hey Hey Chicken croaked, it was the Hey Hey giveaway, and they said, okay, now give me a gif of a this or a that. And then anybody who threw in a gif, or not even a gif, but an emoji, like give me a chicken emoji or give me whatever it is, just to kind of keep it fun and keep it moving. So that was one of the other pieces that went in there. After the sale, obviously, is a big thank you, a contact to the winners. At that point, we took the items and we changed the items that were on our Facebook page, and we posted the item number as well as the price. And we continued to sell for days off of the items that were still left up there. So track those comments and make sure that you're going into the comments on the photo album, because they might not be on the comments from your live event, and read through all of those comments, because we actually missed a couple in there, even though we had 2 people working on it. But then go back into the comments on the photo album, see who still wants to buy off of that, and make sure you're constantly tracking that. And then anyone that didn't make a purchase, if they liked or loved it or made a note, like in the middle of our live event, I noticed 3 people who made some comments like, oh my gosh, that piece is gorgeous. You can bet that one on the wish list. So there are so many other ways. And for people, I mean, I was going to consider this success if we sold 1 or 2 items. Not only did we do very well with it, but because of the exposure that we received, we had people calling and asking about, oh, I didn't know you did custom. Can I bring my mother's wedding rings in, and can you make that into a necklace for me? So it generated a lot of leads. So even if it's not an exact sale at that point in time, it's so worthwhile to do, even if it's just putting those items on wish lists and personal phone calls that you're going to make later. I'm going to see if I can do a share screen then quick on my Facebook page, just so you can kind of see that. In events, we did create the event that we had on there. We had the live flash sale, and so that went up and was posted much earlier, shared by people. We had the bid share it. A number of other people shared the event. That created another stream of way of people to see it on top of the event then, and having it shared that way. Prior to the event, we did the photos. And so I created the photo album. And on the photo album, it had the Facebook Live and had a number of the items that were in there. And so that's where we were able to see things that were in there as well. And then on the videos, we were able to post, if you'll see on the video, which was just like a quick little preview of the fact that we were going to be going live, had 714 views on it. And, for the 55 minutes and the live that we were on there, over 1,000 views on it, and a number of comments, just hundreds and hundreds of comments that way that we continued to sell from. So I really would encourage people, if they haven't done it, just give it a try.
Awesome. And I loved how interactive it was and how you would shout out to different people as they posted comments. That was awesome. You did a great job with that. So if people are interested in doing this for their business and they have more questions, are you open to taking emails or phone calls to help people
I
out?
am. And the fun thing
Okay.
is there's a lot of videos out there, but a lot of people don't want to sit and watch very, very extensive videos on YouTube, or they don't have the professional equipment to put it together the way they're recommending that you do it. And so I certainly understand, just you got to work with what you got and pull it together. I think we're, as a downtown business, we're more than welcome to help anyone else. I know, Lindsay and Jennifer and I are, as the Business Improvement District board members, to be able to help with that. And we're putting together something kind of fun and exciting as well. So I'm just going to let you know that we are working on a virtual Ladies' Day. And so that will be coming out pretty soon as well, so that a number of other businesses are going to get on board, and we're going to take some best practice ideas from other communities and see if we can make it work for us.
And that's awesome. And yes, obviously the chamber is here to help too. So reach out, email or phone call. We'll have information at the end of this video on that. But I want to ask you, Heather, how important is it for small businesses to be online right now and to stay in front of their customers?
It's absolutely critical. On my web page and on my Facebook page, my website, I have a pop-up that says, here's all the different ways that you can get in contact with me. One of those, that if people haven't figured out how to forward their phone number from their store to their cell phone, usually Spectrum has that option to do that. I know a lot of people don't want to be available 24/7 to their customers, but right now people are home and they're shopping at all hours of the day, and they want to be able to support our businesses. And so, as inconvenient as it might seem, that's what we need to do to adapt right now. And people are looking for ways to make that happen. So whether or not that's your Etsy site or an eBay site, or changes and upgrades to your own personal website or Facebook, be watching it and put yourself out there. We're all in the same boat together. And so I think as much as we can cross promote and support each other as businesses too is going to be critical. But people are getting pretty creative in how they're staying relevant.
Yes, I love it. And those are the businesses that are going to survive, or the ones that are thinking outside the box and getting real creative. And you're definitely one of them. Any other words of encouragement for our small businesses right now?
I know people have been a little frustrated sometimes with how the government has been responding, or the time frame, or the fact that we're going to be closed for another how many weeks. Within the guidelines of what is legal and the guidance that we've received city by city, because that is kind of important, by just letting people know now, for us, we're available and we're open by appointment, and do what you can do. Make sure that you stay within the realms of what you're comfortable with, and what your staff is comfortable with, but do what you can do right now. And I know as a bid, we're coming together and to support each other. The chamber is doing everything they can to support each other. Oddly enough, this is not the time to stop marketing. This is not the time when you need to hang on to your dollars. You have to market right now. And I think it's absolutely critical. There are other ways that you can save your money and expenses, but marketing shouldn't be one of them. And a lot of these things that are available are free. So
Right.
we did not spend, we didn't boost anything. We didn't pay any extra money for any of this. And the response has been phenomenal, really. So we were really, really pleased. But find those resources and avail yourself to them, including the things that the chamber is putting out. And don't take this time to sit on your heels. You can't.
Right. Awesome advice. And yes, just to reiterate, you have a right to be running your business as long as you're adhering to the physical distancing requirements. You have a right to be selling product, to be shipping product, to be doing curbside pickup, and to be doing what you need to do to survive. So hopefully the general public and businesses understand that the businesses have a right to be operating. So. Thank you so much,
Thank
Heather. I
you.
appreciate it.
It was a
And
pleasure.
yeah, we're all kind of getting used to this new technology. So thank you for being on our very first episode of our Small Business Survival Series. So keep up the great work, and we're going to continue to promote our members and get opportunities out there for our members to go live. So make sure that you watch this video closely and take the great lessons from Heather. So thanks, Heather.
Thank you. Have a
All
great
right,
week.
you too. Bye-bye.